Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new and you're stopping by for the first time, welcome. I would love it if you would stick around by clicking the red subscribe button and then tapping the bell and all to be notified every single time I upload. If you enjoyed Dollar Tree DIYs, Farmhouse DIYs, Trash to Treasure, dupes, and everything in between. So for today, I shop my house since we are quarantined, and I got these items that I was just going to throw away or give away, and I decided to make them over. So with all that being said, let's jump right into today's DIYs.
I want to be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my head down if I want.
So to begin, we just are doing prep work right now. So for the love me, love my dog, I don't have any animals, but I was going to give this away and my friend ended up having it. So I just kept it and was just going to give it to Goodwill, and then I thought that I could redo it. So I took off the little metal bone and then took my finger sander and sanded off the letters. And then I took a paper towel and just wiped off the excess. This finger sander is linked down in the description box in my Amazon favorites. I had got a question about it, and it should be near the top. So I just wanted to show you how easily you can change out the sandpaper that comes with these. It's really easy and it's a really nice thing to have. So I then just take the bow off of this square decor piece. I was going to try to take the twine off of it, but I looked at it and I saw that I could paint around it, so it wasn't a big deal. Next, I take the longer sign and I just give it a coat of white Waverly chalk paint with my favorite brush. That is also linked down below. It's nice and big. It paints really smooth, so I definitely recommend this brush to anybody. So I just start by doing the sides first, and then I go in with, or in the middle. And I first started painting side by side, but when I am going to stencil or use a paint pen on it, I like to go up and down just because I find that it's easier to go over what you're trying to do instead of it being side to side, because as smooth as you try to get it, it's not always perfectly smooth. Next, I go into the picture frame and I just do the same thing. I paint around that square in the middle. For this one, I did not paint in between because I wanted it to look like wood. So I just do my best to paint around that square, and then I go in with a very small paintbrush and my ink Waverly chalk paint, and I go around the square piece where the picture is going to be. And I use a small brush just because I don't want to make a mess. And then you're going to see here in a minute that I do go ahead, after I do the front part with my Waverly chalk paint, I go ahead on the sides because this is a raised square around the picture, and I wanted to make sure that I painted it all the same color just so that it didn't look funny. So when I paint up against something and I don't want the color to go on the other side, I just very slowly and carefully glide my brush along that edge, making sure that it doesn't get all over the other part. So after I have that square painted, I go to the square decor piece and I use my mineral Waverly chalk paint, and I also give this a good coat of paint. And because this twine is here, I am very careful not to get any paint on the twine, so I do the bottom half and then I do that top little piece. So after I had that all painted, I did go ahead and give the longer piece another coat of white because you could still see through. And then with the excess paint that I had on my brush, I did just dry brush around the square of the picture frame just because I thought that it was missing something. So after I did that, I did go on and print these images. I had already purchased these a long time ago from designbundles.net. I will leave the link down in the description box below. And I got a whole package of farmhouse images for $6, I believe. So I just went ahead and printed them out, took my graphite paper, and then I traced over on the square decor piece the farm, sweet farm. So after I had it all traced on, I did go ahead and paint the leaves and the farm in black, and then I thought that it would look really nice if I went ahead and used the white for the sweet, just to kind of offset it a little bit and so it didn't look so repetitive. So I do get my paint pens from Walmart. I used to get them off of Amazon, but the more that I have used the ones in Walmart, I have found that they're just much better quality. For instance, the one that I got off Amazon, the white, would never work for me. I don't know why, and I've used a lot of paint pens, and I definitely recommend the ones from Walmart just because, like I said, they may be a little bit more pricey, but they are really, really good quality and they last a very long time. So you see I have my coffee here, you guys. We are kind of roughing it out being stuck in the house. I hope all you guys are doing okay, and I just want you guys to know that we'll all get through this together. I hope you guys are all staying home and staying safe, because I am too. And if you're not following me over on Instagram, my link will be in the description box. Definitely go over there, and if you want to chat, please feel free to always message me. My inbox is always open. So I just go ahead and dry brush around the edges with this, with my natural bristle brush and my ink Waverly chalk paint. If you have been around, you guys know that I love to dry brush everything. I think it just makes the pieces look more worn and old and authentic, and I just like the effect that it gives. So that's your preference. If you don't like it, don't do it. So I do the same thing with the farm to table. I take my graphite paper, and I did split this up because of the lines in this picture frame. So I did the farm on the top, two in the middle, and then table on the bottom. And then I go in with my black paint pen, again from Walmart, and I go over what I just traced on. Now, at first I wasn't too sure about the forks on the side of the two, but after thinking about it, I did go ahead because I thought that it might look a little bit plain if I did not add that. So, you know, as I always say, it's your preference, but I did go ahead with it. Let me know in the comments down below if you would leave the forks or if you would trace them on. So after I had it traced, I meant to do this before when I had finished this one, but my hot glue gun was not heated up. So once it heated up, I did just go ahead and reattach that bow to the top, and that one is all done. Next, I am going to do the same thing that I did with the last one. Take my natural bristle brush and dry brush around the edges. Now, I did want to mention real quick, you guys, I got a new camera and new editing system. I am doing this video the way I always have done it, just until I get the hang of it. I did record a cleaning video, so if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments down below. I didn't know if anybody would be interested, but if you are interested, just leave it in the comments down below that you would like to see that. So after I dry brush, I go ahead and take this other printable. Again, all these images that I have printed out are from that same pack that I got for $6 of images off of designbundles.net. But I did just go ahead and take the dog insert that was already in there. I traced that around the image that I wanted to put in there, and then I just went ahead and cut that out. And then after I cut it out, I did go ahead and put the other picture up to it, just to make sure that it was even, because I cannot cut straight to save my life. Raise your hand if you're the same way. But I just went ahead and put that back on just to make sure, and then whatever was, left over on the edges, I did just go ahead and trim it to be the perfect size of this dog picture. So after I had it all cut out, I did go ahead and put the glass back in, and I cleaned the glass just on my pants. It just had some dust on it, so I did just clean it really quickly, and then I put that back in, put the photo in, and that is it for this one, you guys. I'm telling you, it is so easy to transform stuff and to make it look store-bought really, really easily. Actually, I lied. We're going to make a bow. Now, I have showed you guys this bow trick before, so I'm going to show you again. So, I'm not even going to waste my breath trying to explain it because it is kind of hard to explain, but I'm going to slow this clip down for you guys, and if you need it even slower, I know I did this in a previous video, but I get so many questions, I figured that I would show you again. But there's 3 dots in the right hand corner. Just click the 3 dots and then you can choose the speed of your video. So after you have your bow in a knot, make sure that you, if you spread your fingers apart, then you can adjust like the width of the bow. That's the easiest way I can explain it. Just spread your fingers apart, and then you can kind of tug at the end and pull the knot into the middle of your bow. So after I get my bow made, I go ahead and clip the ends to make dovetails. So after I have my bow made, I just go ahead and glue that on. And now we're done with this one. And I cannot figure out which one is my favorite. I think this one is, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below once we're all done which one is your favorite. So after I have it glued down, I just fluff it up. And I love this one. So after that one, I go ahead and work on the longer one. I take a ultra fine black paint pen and I just go in those grooves so that it looks like wood, and I just because this is such a fine point pen, I do have to go over it a few times. So I had this Farm Fresh egg stencil, and I knew that the fresh was going to be too big, and I did have this other plastic stencil with Farm Fresh eggs, so I did just go ahead and trace the fresh onto the middle of this. Now you're probably wondering why I'm tracing a stencil, and it's because these plastic ones, they're really, really hard to hold down good enough so that they don't bleed. So if I trace it on and then go over with my paint pen, I have more control. I then just go in with the farm and I just make sure that it is where I want it. At first I couldn't figure out if I wanted it in the middle or closer to that first line, and I did end up going into the middle. After I pressed it down, I just went in with my paint and I stenciled that on. I did get this stencil from Michael's, I believe. I will try to link it if I can find it or if I can remember, but I definitely bought it at Michael's. So after I did the farm, I did the eggs, and I did the eggs a little bit more to the top. I guess it's in the middle, because I did go ahead and stencil on the 25 cents, the arrow, and the chicken. This is one of those pieces that you just play with and see like where you want this stuff. So I did just end up doing it this way so that that big chicken could fit in the middle. It's midnight here, you guys. I'm exhausted and I'm sorry. I always trip over my words just because when I'm doing this, the whole house is quiet, and that is the time that I have to do these voiceovers. So after I did the stenciling, I just went in with my black paint pen and went over the fresh. So for this one, I dry brushed again, but I did go a little bit heavier with the dry brushing just because it's a longer piece and I really wanted this dry brushing to stand out again to make it look more weathered and old. I love rustic decor because of how old and weathered that it looks. So after I did around the front, I went around the sides and I did the corners the same way and then just dry brushed down the sides and the top and bottom. So after I dry brushed, I went in and I thought that it was just missing a little bit something. So I have these up on my hutch and I wanted them to kind of look like a set. So I thought that it would look cute to put some twine up at the top. So I start at one end, I glue it in the back, and then I just wrap it around a few times. And you could either wrap this, like side by side, or how I'm doing it here. I just kind of randomly did it because I think it looks more authentic that way. And every so often I did just glue it. I think I only wrapped it 3 or 4 times, and then when I was satisfied with how many layers there was, I did just go ahead and glue the edge and then cut that off. Make sure you're careful and you don't burn your fingers. I do enjoy this new glue gun that I have because it has a low, a high, and an off button, so I do really like that feature. So last but not least, I made another bow with a little bit of a bigger buffalo check ribbon and I stuck that to the top. And that is it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I couldn't go out to Goodwill or anywhere to find any trash to treasures, so I thought it was fun to just shop my house and get the stuff that I didn't want anymore and turn it into stuff that I did want. Again, I want you guys to know that you guys are all in my thoughts and prayers. I hope you guys aren't going too stir crazy. I'm just trying to keep a routine over here. Please let me know in the comments down below if you guys want to see a cleaning video or, do you guys want to see what we're doing in quarantine or anything. Let me know. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. I hope you were excited as I was. Catch you guys later. Bye.
1, 2, 3. I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else.